Okay, trying to get work done while waiting for a phone call. 10:38, so hour and 20 minutes left. If anyone desires to pray for my fairy tale ending, that'd be wonderful. Okay, so to the silver. And the silver is people I'm calling those that have the supernatural gifts of the Spirit, which I haven't written down. Wisdom, knowledge, faith, healing, miraculous wonders, prophecy, discernment, tongues, and interpretation of tongues. So, this is for those of you who have the gifts and those of you who desire the gifts. This is kind of the machinations, which means like the mechanics of it, and also the philosophy, just how to operate with them. So one of the first things, this is very important, is not to charge. You can never, ever charge for it. If you do, God's going to have a conversation with you, and that might not be fun. Like that'll start giving you really bad days. It says, since they're freely given, use them freely as well. Now, if someone wants to like buy you lunch as a thank you or give you gas money, that's different. I'm talking about charging. Like, hey, you want me to come down? It's gonna be $20. Like, you can't do that. And if a lot of people worry about the gray area, like the middle, work with God and trust your wisdom, and then assess later. Just kind of think about it, process it, and you can always ask God. You can say, hey God, how am I doing? Is there anything you want me to change? So, like for example, I've helped a few people. I helped a friend's friend get out of a mental institution. She was trying to work with demonics, and it ended up putting her in a mental institution for 2 months. And I think like a month after me getting involved, she was out. And so she tipped me, I think she tipped me like $50. Like she just donated it to me through my website. I didn't even know she did it. That's fine. That's fine. But it can never be, I'll heal you if you pay me money. There are times when you can say, hey, can you maybe help with gas money? That's okay. Like if you're broke, you need to get out there. But God might say, hey, I'll provide you money for gas later. So it's just use your wisdom and operate with care. That's going to be my advice in all things. Okay, so Romans 1:11. For I want very much to see you so that I may impart to you some spiritual gift to strengthen you. So here we see in the Bible the people of God giving out spiritual gifts. So that's kind of what I did in an episode a few episodes back. Okay, and then we have 1 Timothy 4:14. Do not neglect the gift that is in you, which was given to you through the prophecy spoken over you at the laying on of the hands of the elders. So that was the verse that God hid from me, because once I knew it, I understood the secrets of how to get the gifts. You have to get it from somebody who's an elder. So get it from somebody who has the responsibility and authority of a church. And you can become an elder. You just have to work with God on it. It basically involves a lot of responsibility. So I can't do a lot of things other people can do. I'm trying to explain this succinctly without having to explain like 10 things. If you want to be an elder, talk to God. It involves responsibility and being responsible. It's not hard to do, but not everyone wants to do it. And then, yes, you can pray over people and give them the gifts of the Spirit. The original idea of the church when Jesus left was tell everyone the good news. Like, Jesus has come, believe in him, you become possessed by the Holy Spirit, you get to enter heaven when you die. You get to have, what is it? I didn't give you a spirit of weakness, but of power, mental tranquility, and self-discipline. And then the two other things the church was supposed to do is cast out the demons. That's when the Bible is talking about the lame walking, it's talking about that usually. And healing the sick. So those are kind of your jobs. Those are kind of callings that are good to uphold when you have the gifts and work within. And the thing I've noticed is it's very hard just to kind of go and use them. I've tried. It was pretty easy to do it at churches. I would go to a church and just be like, hey, can I pray for you if I saw anyone? But a good way to use your gift is just to tell God, like, hey, I'd like to heal for a couple hours a week. Can you set up a situation where I can do that? And God's going to say something that might make you uncomfortable. With Joe Dawson and Julie Green, he was like, hey, go do social media. And both of them were like, I don't know, social media. I don't want to do social media. Social media is like not for me. Like, what? And now they have like 500,000 followers. It's not hard. You and I know social media. It's not hard to learn social media. It's a little bit embarrassing at first. Your videos are wonky. You don't know how to edit. You don't know how to frame. You don't know how to post. But 2 weeks later, you know what you're doing. Everything with God is going to be like that. You're not going to know what you're doing until you do. And there's going to be people that help you along the way. Even Moses said, God, I need someone to help me talk. I'm not a good public speaker. Here's a good example. Moses wanted to defend God's people when they were enslaved in Egypt. So he went and murdered someone. And then he thought he was going to be high and mighty and praised. And then the one of God's people said, are you going to murder me next? And Moses thought, oh no, that's not what I was after. And then working with God, he did this amazing thing where he walked him out of slavery with his staff of power, doing things like parting the Red Sea and turning off the sun. Anyways, you want the gifts, get them. I'm going to have an episode probably once per season where I start to give them out in waves. So you can go back and watch that episode and ask to receive the gifts I've laid out. But it's time. We messed up. We messed up really bad. It's time for Christianity to come back, because the idea in America is kind of laissez-faire, which means to live and let live. But that's kind of become doing good in your own eyes, which isn't a righteous way to live. Everyone's just doing whatever they want, and the world is becoming a horrible place. And that's because we thought that without God, people would still strive to do what was good. But it turns out people strive to do what is pleasurable, which looks good, but is different than good. Anyway, I love you guys. Sorry for rambling a little bit. I'm nervous tonight.